Hey, this is the video for 3.4, Conservation Laws. So go ahead and set up a new entry in your Cornell Notes. Remember to start a new page for this video. Also check out the essential vocabulary. Today we will be discussing the law of conservation. Now, there are many laws of conservation, but basically what this means is whatever you start with, you have to end with. Now, these on the left refer to the reactants, on the right refers to the products. So whenever you see a chemical reaction, reactants go on the left, products go on the right. So the law of conservation, there's law of conservation of mass, law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of charge. But all three of these are conserved in a reaction. So you always want to account for the mass, the energy, and the charge in both the reactants and the products. So you don't have to start with 4 and end with 9. This was just showing you that whatever you start with, like, you have to have the same. You can rearrange everything. Whatever you start with, you got to end with. As far as quantities, each atom needs to be accounted for. So here's some basics, figuring out the quantities of each one. There's a lot of information here. This is kind of complicated. And when you see this number in front, that adds another curveball to it. So I'm going to break this down. So when you see a subscript immediately after an element, it indicates the quantity of the element only. So that means 3 calciums, that means 4 oxygens. Now, a subscript that's after the parentheses indicates that everything inside the parentheses gets this multiplier. So in other words, there's 2 PO4s. And then the 3, the subscript before the compound, indicates that everything behind it, there's 3 of them. So there's 3 calcium phosphates. Now, how do we figure this out? So I'm going to break this down. We have 3 calciums here, but we have 3 calciums here. So that is a total of 9 calciums. Now with the phosphorus, we got, again, this 3 at the beginning. So 3 P's there. We have 1 P here because there's no number. That's assumed that it's a 1. And then we have 2 at the outside of the parentheses. So 3 times 1 times 2 is 6. Now with the oxygen, again, we got this 3 at the beginning. So that again refers to everything behind it. We have this little 4 behind the oxygen. And then we have this 2 behind the parentheses. So 3 times 4 times 2 is 24. So this is the quantity of each one. We have 9 calciums, 6 phosphorus, and 24 oxygens. I would like you to respond to this check for understanding. You notice I showed you something complicated. We're going to be practicing this a lot. So hopefully this video was informative. I thank you for your attention, and I will see you soon.